Hey, I'm Actual Chatterteeth, and here is a quick tutorial / demonstration of pause menu storage. I'm going to explain exactly what the glitch is, how it works, and the 3 different ways of using it. So, what is pause menu storage? Pause menu storage is a glitch that allows you to walk around with a pause menu on your screen. This glitch is useful in some categories, namely any percent and no level resets, the 2 categories in which it is allowed. And it has a different way of activation depending on if you're on GameCube / PS2 or if you are on Xbox. So this tutorial I'm kind of giving, or demonstration, is focused on the GameCube and PS2 version. If you're on Xbox, the glitches that I show will work, but the method of activation will be different. So, how does pause menu storage work? Well, while we have our game being saved and we grab a token, we get this life preserver at the bottom. It tells us our game is saving, and after a little animation, game will freeze for a bit while it saves and then play out. At this point, that save preserver isn't there anymore. If we interrupt the game's ability to save, say, I'm gonna grab this token again, but take out my memory card in the process, we get this screen. It basically says, hey, there's nowhere to save anymore, autosave is off, you're acknowledging that. And so it's like, hey, press A to continue without saving. When we close this screen, the game unpauses. Pause menu storage works by closing that screen while the game is paused. This screen should only ever happen during gameplay, because the only time this autosave process happens is while you're collecting a token, which is during gameplay. So to get pause menu storage, we need to find a way to cancel the save game process while paused. To do that, we need to get a glitch called save game glitch, where we keep that life preserver on screen, even though we're not saving the game. There's 2 different ways to get this glitch. The first one is by pausing the game, the frame, or within a 2-frame window of grabbing the token. So in this case, we're gonna try out that one. I currently have 1 token. And if I timed it right, which I did, I now have a life preserver at the bottom right of my screen. This is called a token frame, and typically if you see this in speedruns, you don't see this life preserver because runners don't typically have save game on. In our case, we need this life preserver, and so save game is important for us. This tells us, hey, you just got the token frame. The other way of interrupting that token animation to get that life preserver is by dying while collecting the token. So since I'm near Chocolate Creek, I'll show what that looks like. I'm currently at 1 health, and so with Creek, I'm going to get some kind of recoil from this chocolate bar, knocking me into the token, starting grabbing it, but then dying while grabbing it, so that once my death animation finishes and it reloads the level, I have that life preserver at the bottom there. So, this is the prerequisite for pause menu storage. We need that life preserver. Now that we have it, I'm going to show you 3 different ways of activating pause menu storage, but first let me get to a slightly different place in the level. Alright, now that we're in this spot, we're going to be looking at the 3 different methods of activating pause menu storage. For all 3 methods, the first thing you're going to do is pause your game. At this point, you are going to remove your memory card. I'm currently on Dolphin for recording, and so I go into my configuration menu, go to GameCube, and where my memory card is, I set to, for me, nothing. This is probably either memory card for you or GCI folder, depending on your method of save, but you want to set that to nothing. If you're on a physical console, pulling out your memory card works. If you're using a modded GameCube, Wii, or PS2 and you're using like a virtual or digital memory card, this will not be possible unless it is somehow hot swappable. I don't know enough about the modding of those consoles to know if you can just plug a USB drive in and have it act as a memory card, but a virtual memory card will not work unless you can take it out during gameplay. Once we take out the memory card, we have 3 different options for activating pause menu storage that give 3 different effects. So I will show all 3 of them here. The first method we're going to do is going to the quit game menu. So if we go to the quit game menu, once we take out our memory card and press yes, you'll see like the loading screen for the title kind of show up for a bit. And we're gonna press yes a second time. So going to quit game and pressing yes twice gives us pause menu storage. This is the version used in any percent. And this is the only version of pause menu storage that does what's called a level reset. To show you what a level reset is, I'm going to load No Cheese, where I already collected the first token. And as I load No Cheese, I'll explain level resets. Level resets are a tech done by this version of pause menu storage that completely resets every single level in the game, besides the one that you're in. So for me, it was I'm Ready Depression, into their vanilla untouched state. So even though I've beaten this level already, it's showing me the opening cutscene as if I started a new save. It's showing me the in-game cinematic, and you'll see now that that token way in the distance is still there, as if I've never been to this level. This method of activating pause menu storage that does quit, yes, yes, initiates level resets across all of the different levels in the game, besides the one that you are actively in. And again, this is the main version used in any percent. The second form of pause menu storage has you go to the save game menu. So press A to go to save game. You'll see the life preserver disappears. We'll press B to go back. And now press A on the quit game menu. You shouldn't have to press yes this time. We're just going to the quit game menu. Now that we're here, we have pause menu storage. So coming out here, we have the same effect we had with the quit yes yes version that I showed first. However, I'll go to No Cheese just to show, we did not initiate level resets. So I held tab to make it go faster, but you'll see the token in the background isn't there. The truck to the right is already out. This is the version of the level I already went through. This version of the glitch is more useful in NLR, or no level resets, a category which allows pause menu storage, but does not allow level resets. So essentially no token duping. The third version of pause menu storage has you only go to the save game menu. This will be the same as you doing the... it'll have the same effect as the save quit version of pause menu storage, in that it doesn't activate level resets. But since we're in the save game menu, this will let us initiate save game again. So we go to save game, and instead of backing out, we press our memory card slot. Here I can move around my camera, but Patrick's frozen. I can't do anything. So we're going to put back in our memory card, and it'll show our memory card menu. From here, I can go to my save file. It already exists. If I press yes here, it will save and continue the game as normal. But at this point, I can pause, bringing up a save menu or a pause menu. Press yes on my save menu, and now I have pause menu storage with my game save. So this is the same effect as that second effect where we did save and then quit, except now I have the save game still on. I didn't completely turn off my save game. You might be wondering, why is this useful? Well, we said earlier that having save game glitch is what enables you to do pause menu storage, and to get save game glitch, you must interrupt the token grabbing animation. Well, now that we have this menu up, while we have save game activated, we have a way of grabbing a token. So it's saving down there, and I'll warp to Depression while grabbing the token. Speed up our load a bit. And now we again have save game glitch to use to get another pause menu stored. This specific trick is called SGG, or save game glitch chaining, and SGG chaining is again another major tech used in no level resets. The other main glitch used for, or that pause menu storage is used for, is called question mark warps. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. I'll pause my game, take out my memory card. I'm going to do the regular version, so I'll do save and quit. So no level resets. And at this point, we see that I don't have a lot of the game unlocked. I have no cheese, I have some stuff in Depression, but nothing else, because this is a new file that I'm doing this on. Oh, I have sandwich driving because I started collecting the token up at the top. So I can't warp to levels I don't have unlocked. I try to warp to 3,000 miles of Shell City. I can't. I don't have it. What I can do is warp to a token I already have. So I'm going to make a save state just to show if I wanted to warp to Depression, I can do that. The warp gets confirmed when I press this A button a third time, so like the alright, you asked for it, but it only decides which level I'm warping to once the load screen starts. So to question mark warp, or warp to a level that has a question mark, you don't quite have it yet. For me, I'm going to go to Bubble Blowing Baby Hunt, that's 4 down. You're going to press A twice to start initiating your warp. And then I'm going to pause. As I pause the game to bring up a normal pause menu, I'm going to hit A a third time to confirm my warp on the stored pause menu. Once that warp is confirmed, I have a second to scroll to whichever level I want to warp to. So you could warp anywhere, but you have to be able to scroll to it within a second of the level that you are in. Remember, your pointer is starting whichever level that you are in. So even if I put my cursor on sandwich driving, once I open my new pause menu, the cursor will be on I'm Ready Depression. So I need to start scrolling from I'm Ready Depression. So again, I pressed A twice. I'm going to pause, press A a third time. I just scrolled 4 times to get down to the first token of Bubble Blowing Baby Hunt, and now I'm loading into that level. This is a trick used a lot in both any% and less so in NLR, but still used heavily there, and is the main glitch besides level resets that pause menu storage is useful for. The final thing of note I would like to give about pause menu storage is some notes on how to control it. So once we have this menu stored, if you want to move around on this stored menu, you must use the D-pad. All face button presses, so A, B, X, Y, or cross, circle, square, triangle, will input in this menu. So if I press B, I just lose it. Or if I press X, I can go to the options menu. But your analog stick input will not work. But you can still control where you're going with the D-pad in case you need to. Like we do with, say, the save game menu. The other point of note, which I'll come back up to this token for, is that you may want to actually have a better vision of what you're doing while you have the pause menu stored. So say I want to grab this token, but I can't really see the token right now. What you can do is press A once. So right now I have a warp to this level. I pressed A once, and pause and unpause the game. It looks like I just lost my stored menu, but I still have it confirmed once that I want to warp somewhere. So if I press B, it shows that I still have this pause menu open. I just denied my warp, and so it's giving me back control of my menu, which again, I'm controlling with the D-pad. This variation is called the ghost menu, and is very useful if you're trying to, say, platform around a level. So if I want to just like jump around here, I'm on a question mark just so I don't accidentally warp somewhere. But if I wanted to jump around this level, I can now do that with this ghost menu with complete vision of everything around me. So that is everything, at least basic, that comes with pause menu storage. This video showed you what pause menu storage is, how it functionally works in the game, how to get save game glitch off of a token, and the 3 different methods of pause menu storage that exist. One which has level resets, one which does not have level resets, and one which does not have level resets but saves the game. I also showed a bit of question mark warping as well as this ghost menu trick. Hope this helps.